today, which means we're going to check in with each body part and then we're going to do something for it. So I will stand up and move back and tell you what I mean. So starting off all the way down at our feet, hopefully you guys can see my feet, but if not, I will act it out with my hands as well. I can't quite see what you can see. I'm going to start off by taking my feet and scrunching my toes underneath me, really squeezing the muscles underneath my feet to feel how much tension is in there, feel my feet thoroughly in a way that I might not have felt them throughout the rest of the day. And then I'm going to relax those muscles underneath my feet. So foot fist, and then relax. Now that I've relaxed, I'm going to check in with my feet and see if the tension has melted away to some degree. If it has, great. We're going to do a stretch, any stretch of your choosing. So anything that feels good, feels like a stretch to you. If not, you can do that squeeze and release again, or you can shake it out. So this is going to go forward as we go through our body parts today. So now I'm going to do a little stretch for my foot, which means I'm going to come up on my toes to stretch out the bottom of my foot here. And I'm just going to sort of lean into that, find some different angles by rocking my foot at a few different angles here. And then I'm going to go to the other side, finding some different angles, stretching those toes by coming up onto the ball of the foot. So you guys can see that okay. And then we're going to switch. So now I'm going to be lifting my toes up and away from the floor, maybe even bringing the balls of my feet off the floor as well. And I'm going to be using the muscles in the front of my leg here, the muscles in front of my shin, to be pulling the toes up, pulling the foot up here. And then I'm going to relax. So to show you on the other side, you don't have to lift your leg up. I'm just making sure you guys can see. I'm lifting up my toes, lifting up through the ball of my foot, squeezing that muscle, and then relaxing. Now, this time I can put the top of my foot on the ground and then press the top of my foot or toes into the ground to get a nice stretch through the front of my foot, the top of my foot and the front of my leg there, and then doing that at different angles here. Standing, it will look like this. Or you can take your foot and just sort of shake it out. World's your oyster. So now moving up to calves, I'm going to squeeze my calves by coming up onto my toes. Feel free to hold on to something stable. If it feels better to you, you're able to focus on that squeeze. And then relax and come out of that tension. If that tension's still there, you could do another squeeze and another release, or you could do a stretch. So I'm going to go for a calf stretch. You can do any stretch that feels good to you. And to do a calf stretch, I'm bringing my left foot behind me. I'm really leaning into that back heel and then bringing my hips forward until I can get a nice stretch through my calf. So you're mindfully assessing your body, taking care of your body parts as you go through here. Switching sides whenever it feels good for that calf stretch, or doing as many repetitions as feels right for you of the squeeze and release, the shake out. Lovely. So next up, just working up through our body with the self-assessment and then treat. I'm going to squeeze my hamstrings. So to do that, I'm going to Just bring my heel up towards my butt, and my goal is to squeeze this muscle in the back of my thigh as hard as I can. Good 3 second squeeze a lot of times is enough to feel that muscle. And then when you release it, you can feel the tension going away. If you're squeezing it so hard that you're cramping, that might feel awful. Back off just a little bit. Let's do the other side. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And release. Now here again, you can do any stretch that you want. I'm going to do a cross-legged forward fold. So I'm going to take my right leg in front of my left, and then I'm just going to hinge at the hips to get a nice stretch through the back of my thighs here. And taking a few deep breaths to help me settle in and relax. And then I'll just cross the other leg in front and go forward with that plan again. Hinging at the hips, engaging through my core so that my lower back is protected, supporting myself a little bit with my hands just so that I can relax thoroughly. Lovely. Okay, so we took care of our hamstrings. We're going to come around to the front of the leg and we're going to squeeze our quads. So when I'm squeezing the muscles in the front of my thigh here, I'm thinking about lifting up my kneecaps as I do this. So I'm squeezing the muscles in the front, I'm lifting up my kneecaps hard as I can for 3 seconds. Nice, and then release it all the way. Now from here, it can feel good to do any number of stretches. You get to choose whichever one you want, or if you want to follow me, we're just going to shake it out. So I'm just going to sort of shake my left leg, and then I'm going to shake my right leg, and then I'm going to say, did I get all the tension out? If yes, great, well done me. But sometimes we have body parts that are a little bit more resistant. Maybe I want to do another little stretch for myself. You can hold on to your foot. And when you do this one, to intensify, bring your knees together, tuck your pelvis a little bit. Standing up really nice and tall. And then to go on to the other side, same deal, holding onto the ankle, draw knees together, tuck pelvis. Of course, hold on to something solid if you prefer the balance. Lovely. All right, putting both feet back onto the ground. We're gonna come up into our stomach and back, which is a little bit more challenging. When I'm squeezing the muscles in my stomach, not only am I going to be drawing my belly button in, I'm also going to be using my abs to round through my lower back a little bit. So it's gonna look like this. The side, gonna look like that. But I'm trying to squeeze the muscles as much as I can in my stomach. Takes a lot of mental concentration. And then release. We're going to go to the lower back next, and then we'll take a stretch for the lower part of our core here. And to do my lower back, I'm going to really, it's going to look like I'm arching my lower back. So I'm going to get as much of an arch as I can without cramping or discomfort or general misery. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Notice if the squeeze is the same on both sides. One of my sides is really squeezing much harder than the other. And then go ahead and relax. Now, you'll notice that there was a little bit of a stretch for the back of my body when I was doing the stomach, and a little bit of a stretch for my stomach when I was squeezing my lower back. So to get my stretch in, my little treat in, I'm just going to go for a twist. So to twist, I'm going to go to the right I always like to inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, twist. This is your opportunity to do any stretch that you want though. So if you want to choose a different adventure, go for it. You can feel what is going on best in your body. Whenever you're ready, if you're twisting with me, go ahead and go the other direction. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. And of course, when we're moving intuitively, it's always an experiment. So we're moving in gently and slowly, incrementally to be kind to our body as we go forward on the little experiment. Lovely. All right, come back to center. And now we're going to go to the upper back and then the chest. So when I'm squeezing my upper back, I can bring my shoulders as far behind me as I can, thinking about my shoulder blades, drawing them in. Maybe I'm drawing the back of my head back in space. And I'm going to squeeze for a good solid 3, 2, 1, and then relax. Oh, I probably need another one of those to be totally honest, but for your sanity, I won't. So take stock of how that feels. And then to do the chest, I'm going to bring my shoulders in towards each other, draw my chin down, and I'm really squeezing the muscles across my chest. There are muscles that connect all the way up through your chin here. And I'm going to squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then relax. So now you notice again, similar to the lower part of our body here, by doing one side, we're stretching the other. So to get a little stretch going on, I'm going to just put my elbows out to the side, hands on the back of my head, and reach behind myself with my elbows. So elbows are going straight out to the side and a little bit back. I'm dropping my shoulders away from my ears as much as I can. My head is up nice and tall, and the stretch for the front of my body comes from my shoulders going out and back and dropping my shoulders away from my ears. If you have another stretch that you like to do for your chest, go ahead and do that. I like this one because I can adjust the angles by moving the position of my hands on my head. I can also go to this goalpost position. So choose your angles, choose your own adventure, find those movements that feel great to you. Now to get a nice stretch for our upper back, just something lovely and relaxing, I could do one arm at a time by bringing my right arm across my body and just relaxing into that stretch. Beautiful. Other side, reaching across my body with my left hand, helping myself into the stretch with my right, and rounding into the back. Hopefully you can see this okay. But I'm allowing those shoulder blades to come apart. When I was contracting through my upper back, shoulder blades were coming in together to squeeze, and I'm allowing the shoulder blades to come apart and feel a lovely, juicy stretch away from the spine. All right, one last one. We're going to bring the shoulders up by the ears, doing a squeeze for your neck and shoulders. And then we're going to release the tension and relax out of it. I'm going to do a little bit of movement to shake out the remaining stress with a couple of shoulder rolls. But you go for it, do whatever movement you like that feels good to you here. Keep breathing. Lovely. I'm going to send you on your way with one deep volcano breath. So inhaling your arms all the way up, getting a good big old morning stretch here, and exhaling the arms down. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I hope you have an amazing new year. Take care, everybody.